You're listening to Give Yourself Some Leeway with me, your host, Eugene Lee. I've spent the last 4 years trying to discover how to break the burnout cycle, and as a high achiever in a fast-paced world, I know how easy it is to slip back into old habits, leaving you feeling overwhelmed and left behind. If you're anything like me, then you need to hear this. Burning out is not your fault. Yes, you can recover from burnout. And the post-burnout growth is not only real, but it feels amazing. This podcast is dedicated to helping break the stigma around mental health in the workplace, ending burnout culture for good, and the action steps that you can take today towards your personal growth and success. So let's do it. What is your burnout trying to tell you? So many people choose to ignore the fact that they've burnt out because if they admit to it and make it more tangible, make it feel more real, then they need to address it. They're afraid that if they admit that they're feeling burnt out, that they'll look weak and incompetent and no longer a good fit for their role, no longer able to manage the stresses and the workload that they now have. Or some people are ignorant of their burnout, that they just think, I'm not burnt out. I must be just overstressed because of this new job I have. I must just be older. Maybe this is a thing with age. I don't have the energy that I used to, and I just need to compensate with caffeine or alcohol or sleeping aids to make sure that I can keep up with everyone else who seems to have higher energy levels than me. Choosing to ignore your burnout and not listen to the signals it's giving you, what it's trying to tell you about your life. If you keep pushing that away and pushing that down and not addressing it, you're probably acting out of emotions that you're not regulating. You're probably missing out on key decisions in your life because the exhaustion and the cynicism and the lack of emotional regulation is holding you back from making key decisions in your life that could pay back exponential returns in your future. But if you continue to live in fear and hold yourself back, you're holding yourself back from your burnout recovery and the inevitable post-burnout growth that comes with that. So today I want to focus on what your burnout could possibly be trying to tell you about yourself and the next steps that you can take towards your personal growth and success. Now, every time we talk about burnout prevention, it's always stress management. Stress management is burnout prevention. Burnout prevention is stress management. So if you're feeling burnt out, it may be that you're chronically stressed. If there's so much stress that you can't handle, then you need to first identify where those stresses are in your life. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed, you're taking on way too much at once. You need to start delegating that work or prioritize which of these responsibilities and tasks require the most of your time. Which ones do you need to focus on? Maybe you're not setting boundaries. If you're feeling burnt out, maybe you realize you're not setting the right boundaries in your life. You need to be more clear about what you say yes to and what you need to give a resounding no. No, I'm not up to that task. Delegate it to someone else. No, I'm not up to that task right now. I can't do that task right now, but I can do it in 2 weeks' time. I can do it in an hour. It doesn't have to be right now. I can get to that later. It's not a priority for me right now. Saying no is one of the hardest things for people to say because they feel that they're not up to the task, that they're a failure if they can't do things right away. So maybe your burnout is trying to tell you you need to be more clear on setting boundaries and knowing your self-worth. Maybe you feel like your work is no longer giving you the same purpose and fulfillment as it did when you first started. Maybe you feel that, okay, I've reached a point in my career where my day to day work is no longer challenging me, or you don't feel appreciated for the work you do day to day, that it just becomes this boring humdrum and it doesn't excite you the way it used to. It could be time to change. And that can be an uncomfortable thing because change does require a bit of discomfort. You will be challenging yourself again, and it's going to take you out of the routine that you've built. And that can require a lot of energy if you're feeling burnt out because you don't have that energy. You're exhausted doing tasks that no longer give you fulfillment. It can take a lot of time and a lot of courage to say, this no longer fulfills me, and I need to make a change here. But I don't have the energy or the confidence or the self esteem to start something new, to take on that new challenge. Burning out could be the sign that you need to take a step back and reevaluate where you see yourself in your future. Where do you see yourself being fulfilled in life? Where do you see personal growth and success in your future? Have you been taking care of yourself? Have you been spending a lot of your time caring for others, taking care of your team, trying to be a leader, taking care of your family, taking care of your friends, but not actually taking the time to take care of yourself, to fill your cup first, to put on your oxygen mask first before helping others? Your burnout could be a sign that you're overreaching your own energy reserves and you're trying to be there to help everyone else without taking care of your needs first. It's very hard to pour from an empty cup and to be of service to anyone else and get that fulfillment if you're not first taking care of yourself. You can't show up at your best for anyone else if you're constantly drained and coming across with cynicism and resentment. Your burnout could be telling you that it's time for you to take a step back and prioritize your own self care, your own self growth, so that you can show up bigger and better for everyone else around you. Do you struggle asking for help from family and friends, from work colleagues, from your manager, from your leader, from your mentors? Do you feel like you're troubling them? That if you ask for support, oh, I'm just causing more hassle to them. I should be coming to them and helping them out. I should only be coming to help them out when they're in trouble because it makes me feel more important. It makes me feel appreciated when I help them, but I don't want to ask help and put them on the spot. This is people pleasing. If you're people pleasing a lot, that's one of the main contributors to burnout. If you can't ask for support and always are there to support others, think for a second how you feel when someone reaches out for help from you and how fulfilled that makes you feel. It makes you feel important because you were able to help them out when they were in need. Well, when you're in need, they also feel that too. They can feel like they're of service to you. They can pay you back for all the help that you have given them in the past. And it's a unconditional help as well. It's not, oh, you helped me in the past, so I'm going to help you in the future. Of course, your friends and your family are there to help you whenever you need that help. And they appreciate that too, that they know you can trust in them to reach out and look for that help. So if you're feeling isolated, that you can't reach out for that support, no matter how drained and exhausted you feel, this burnout could be telling you that it's time to reach out and have that support network, to show your weakness. There is so much strength in being vulnerable, showing that vulnerability and showing that weakness and looking for support. Because in the long term, It helps you to grow exponentially in every area of your life. So rather than berating yourself and listening to that niggling negative self-narrative that tells you, oh, forget about your burnout, forget about these feelings, it'll pass in time, you just need to work through it, discipline, hustle, you'll get through it. 75 hard, you'll forget about those weak emotions, you'll become stronger on the other side. That's not how you deal with burnout. You need to take time for yourself. Take a step back, take a deep breath, and give yourself some leeway. I'll say this time and time again. You need to create that space for yourself. To not get overwhelmed. To not get stressed about how you're going to start your burnout recovery journey. You need to be self-aware of why you're feeling this way. What has led you to feeling burnt out? What are the stressors? Can we identify the stressors in your life? Which ones you can control and which ones you cannot control? And where do we go from there? Stop berating yourself for feeling this way. If you're feeling cynical about everything and you're just not pushing the same energy levels that you used to, you feel exhausted, but you don't know why. You're getting 8 hours of sleep and you still can't climb out of the bed. And you're like, God damn it, stop being so lazy. This isn't like you. You need to be super productive. You want to get anywhere in life. You need to treat yourself with self-kindness and self-compassion and acknowledge, okay, I'm not performing at my best right now. I know it's because I've been taking on way too much duties, way too many responsibilities, and I feel overwhelmed right now. I can't handle this. I need to get support. I need to set boundaries. And I need to put in a self-care routine in my life. So they're the 3 steps to starting your burnout recovery journey. We need to start with self-awareness, self-compassion, and a self-care routine. So rather than repressing your burnout and thinking you can work your way through that, that's going to keep you in the burnout cycle, all those self-sabotaging behaviors that have been keeping you down for years. Listen to what your burnout is trying to tell you. And that's your quickest step forward into burnout recovery and reaching post-burnout growth. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you did, could you please leave a 5 stars and a review on whichever platform you're listening to this, because it helps it reach more people who may need to hear this. Because I'm not doing this to serve me. I'm here for you. If what I have to say helps impact one person's life, then it's worth it. That's my goal. To impact that one person who needs me the most right now. If you want to dive deeper, or maybe have a conversation about this episode, or hear more about what we do here at Leeway, you can reach out to me at giveyourselfsomeleeway.com. You can book a call. Let's have a chat. You can send me an email at eugene@leeway.ie, or send me a voice note on Instagram at eugene.leeway. Until next time, take care.